Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Broku, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball video. In this video today, we are discussing Lavenda's poison and how it may affect Jiren. So I know people might get triggered automatically and say if Goku and Vegeta can use key barriers to stop it, then this is a pointless question to ask. But I don't see it that way. I have to give a big shout out to SaoDVD for the artwork for my thumbnail, and that's featured right here. I really do appreciate it. I think it is really good. And guys, you should go check out his YouTube channel. Here's a link down below in the description. SaoDVD, be sure to go check him out. Thanks for the thumbnail, man. Appreciate it. So be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to follow my Discord down below and join my community. So anyways, guys, ever since we saw the power of Jiren in episodes 109, 110, and 111 against Goku and Hit, he seemed unbeatable. And it made me think of ways that he could actually be stopped. And eventually, I started thinking about Universe 9 again, more specifically, the trio Dbzaraticcommunity. So Basil is essentially useless against Jiren, and Bergamo I'll be covering in a separate video, probably tomorrow. But Lavenda's poison is a very useful skill. He was able to really mess with Gohan, as the poison made it so that he couldn't see or sense ki, making it so he couldn't react to Lavenda's attacks until right before it hit him. Also, this immediately weakened Gohan, and then slowly weakened him over time. Actually, it was pretty fast, because fights in Dragon Ball go by really quickly. So it was actually pretty fast, but still slow in terms of over a fight. Now, could Lavenda use the poison on Jiren effectively? Well, first, some assumptions need to be made. We're going to assume that Jiren is not resistant to poison. If he is, then this whole video is just pointless. But it is possible that he could be, as so far we have seen him counter 4th dimensional attacks that alter time. Even then, could Lavenda even breach Jiren's natural ki barrier? The same ki barrier that Goku's Kamehameha wave couldn't pierce, or even Kataplessa couldn't pierce either. Honestly, Lavenda probably could not do that. If Vegeta can use a ki barrier around him in his base form, then Lavenda couldn't even breach that. Then he's not going to be able to breach Jiren's either. But that was his punch attacks. It could be that his poison mist could breach the ki barrier when the fighter is taking a breath. So if it's a one-on-one fight, Lavenda would probably have no chance. But if we were talking about just his poison, and he was fighting other fighters, and then Lavenda used this attack on Jiren while he was distracted, how could it work? So Lavenda is able to breathe the poison into him, or make Jiren breathe in the poison, and how effective would this be? And if it has a similar effect to Gohan, then this would be an insanely effective attack. First off, Jiren would not be able to see or sense ki, and also, since Jiren can use his eyes to attack, that would take away one of his attacks. It would instantly reduce his powers, and he'd be losing his powers continuously until he would eventually succumb to the poison. And how weak could this possibly make him? Well, just imagine Jiren having no vision, which also takes away one of his attacks, no ability to sense ki, and a massive reduction in power, with it slowly taking more power away from him by the second. At this point, could he even take on Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken x 20 Goku? As Goku Blue Kaioken x 20 was able to actually last in a fight against Jiren. And I think that Jiren, actually even poisoned and at a disadvantage, would still be able to take on Goku at first. But over time, with the poison consuming more and more of his body and making Jiren weaker and weaker, Goku would eventually overpower him and defeat him without even Ultra Instinct, as I do believe he could last long enough to let the poison run its course. This is assuming, though, that the poison works at the same rate on Jiren that it does on Gohan. But if it isn't at the same rate and is more linear and not exponential, then it would be much less effective. It would take away much less power away from Jiren than it did Gohan at the initial infection, and then would take away his power at a much slower rate. And really, who knows, maybe Jiren's bodily system would be able to root out the poison as well, and make it just go much slower. So as just a one-on-one fight technique, this would not really work at all, at least not that well. But had Universe 9 survived up until the point when Goku was fighting Jiren as Ultra Instinct, and then managed to poison Jiren while he was busy fighting him, Goku would have curb stomped Jiren. It wouldn't even have been close. And even if Goku's energy ran out before he reverted to his base form, and Jiren was still around, The remaining fighters could have easily defeated a poison Jiren at that point, as he would have been weakened by Ultra Instinct Goku along with the poison. Of course though, that is assuming if the poison works at the same rate, but even then, Jiren being blind is a double effect, as it takes away his attack as well and his vision, and not being able to send his ki. That alone is a pretty big disadvantage, but that would still be very hard to take Jiren down. It would make it a lot harder for him to fight. So overall, what do you guys think might happen? Do you think Lavenda could really have done damage to Jiren with his poison? Or do you think Jiren may have anti-poison resistance? Or it just wouldn't affect him as much as Gohan and be at such a slow rate that it really wouldn't be effective at all? Now personally, I think the poison would affect Jiren the same way it affected Gohan, but that is assuming if Jiren does not have these powers. The whole point though is Lavenda would somehow have to find a way to poison Jiren while he's distracted and being able to breach his ki barrier, but then again, if he just uses the mist and Jiren breathes it in, he is going to get poisoned, because that's what happened to Gohan. But anyways guys, let me know your thoughts down below so that we can get the conversation started. So please do leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, turn on notifications to see more of my videos, and also go to my description and follow me on Discord, and also follow me on Twitter. That would be very much appreciated. I have to give a big shout out to all my Patreon supporters: Daraj Payton, the Awesome Guy Only Sports Broku on Patreon, and Zach Totaku. Those are my Super Saiyan 1s. And thanks to my Super Saiyan 2s, Israel Flores, Mystic Ghoul, Darius, Badass Thug, Griffin Jacob, Sin Overlord, Dutch Gamer Monkey, Connor Trigg, and Locke. Thank you guys so much for all the support. It really does mean a lot and helps me out so much. I hope you guys just all have an amazing day. Peace out.